So guys, such an incredible week here. I had a realization recently that there are two types of stories in life. There are the good stories and they inspire us and move us. And then there are the great stories, and the great stories really humble us. So I had no idea back in March when I sent an email to Mr. Дейвид Райбак, who is here with me today in Bulgaria, in Sofia, in front of Endika. I had no idea when I sent an email saying, your book was great, it helped me so much, that he would reply and say, hey, thank you, and then he would be, I would love to come to Bulgaria to meet you. So here he is in Bulgaria. We are spending this day and the whole week together actually here in Sofia. So David, welcome to Bulgaria.
I love being here. This is a very exciting place. Being with you, it's all beautiful. The city is great, the company is great, the activities are wonderful. It's a chance to really contribute to Bulgaria and to your career and my career. It's all wonderful. It's great.
So good to have you. We'll be spending the day together. He'll be going to live TV shows. He'll be doing 2 management meetings today. So you'll get the chance to meet him more in the video that's coming.
The topic of today's breakfast meeting is emotional intelligence.
Well, I've never been to a bar so early in the day. I bet I know what's on your mind. I'm not a mind reader, but I bet I know what's on your mind. Why waste my precious time on emotions? I have better things to do. Well, I want to tell you why it's worth your time. I've been asked this question by different organizations with whom I consulted. For example, at NASA, the engineers were sharp enough to get us to the moon, but they didn't hear well when the engineers warned them about the O-rings with the Challenger. They didn't listen, and we had a terrible accident with the Challenger.
Did you feel well on stage?
Excellent, yeah. You know why? I have to.
Well, we live to serve, right? We just attended a meeting of all A1 managers. Mr. Дейвид Райбак spoke to them about emotional intelligence. They were pretty excited, and I hope now they're a little bit more emotional than they were. So now we're going to BTV, where he's going to take part in a morning live show. Why not, of all things? So David, how do you like Sofia in autumn?
I love it. I love it. Every part of it.
Гост за 11:15, Дейвид Райбак.
I'm the daily editor. Armin, nice to meet you.
David.
If you want to come with me, please.
Здравейте, ето ни духът на здравето. Доктор Райбак, здравейте в България, здравейте в България.
I hope you're enjoying it.
I am.
Oh, it was great. Yeah, you look great. You had this really calm, nice demeanor, and it was really, really nice. Yes, there is a slight chance you might make it because the guys. Ще правим интервю с него, мисля, ще има интервю по Bloomberg. После вечерта има събитие, на което се регистрираха много повече приятели, отколкото аз очаквах да се регистрират в Лимпо. И днеска е пълен ден.
Can we manage, are we able to manage our own emotions? Or is this a problem of most people?
Our problem is to choose to have our control over our emotions. That's the challenge.
Проблемът ни е да изберем да имаме контрол над емоциите.
And the way we do that is to have the practice and the skill of labeling our emotion.
Начинът, по който го постигаме, е като имаме умението да ги назоваваме.
So if I feel angry,
Ако се чувствам гневен,
the first step is to acknowledge inside that I am aware that I feel that anger
първата
coming
стъпка
up.
на практика е да разбера вътрешно, да осъзная, че чувствам гняв.
I'm really interested about the book where you interviewed sporting people, Psychology of Champions. That's really interesting. I'm going to ask you about this tonight.
That's a good book because we get real top athletes that my co-author interviewed, and I helped write the book. See, there's an example where this guy he interviewed all these champions, and he had the book, but he couldn't get it published. So he gave it to me, and I rewrote it, some parts, and I added and so on, and I got it published. And the way that happened, I was at a conference, and I happened to be sitting next to this woman, and I said, "What does she do?" She's from a publishing company. And what kind of books? Psychology. So I said, "Oh, well, I have a book. What's it called? Psychology of Champions." So I came up with a title because I think that
Many of the people in the room will be HR people or consultants that deal
talking about
tonight, that deal with superstars, especially in IT sector.
I see.
They're superstars, like the footballers you were telling them. So a lot of my questions will be in regard of how do you teach superstars to work in a team?
Right.
What role emotional intelligence plays in this process? How do you help them manage their egos? Because ego management is everything they need. I mean, it's when they disagree, how do you make them commit to things they disagree with? You know, that's a big issue.
В офиса сме на Лимпо. Нашите мили приятели, които така щедро решиха да подзвонят тази вечер едни стотина приятели, които ще се съберат тук, за да чуят Дейвид Райбак. Това, което той има да каже в темата емоционална интелигентност и лидерство от столовете. Сте готови? Чакаме хората. Много ще вълнуващо.
I realized something, friends, that there is a difference between good stories and truly great ones. You see, we discover and shape good stories. Great stories, however, discover and shape us. Good stories, they move the tectonic plates of our imaginations. Great stories, they move the tectonic plates of life itself. Good stories are fragments, they're beautiful pieces of our life's mosaic. But when we encounter a truly great story, we realize our life is just one of the many threads woven in its magnificent being. So good stories exist within the borders of our worlds. But great ones, they stretch far beyond our bravest horizons. And whereas we are the writers and tellers of many good stories, we always feel we are somehow being written into the few truly great ones by the invisible hand of an omnipotent writer. That is why, my friends, I believe good stories inspire us, but truly great ones humble us. So tonight I'm truly humbled and greatly honored to present to you Dr. Дейвид Райбак, the main character in this truly great story. David, the phone.
I'll tell you why I'm so passionate about emotional intelligence these days. I was 11 years old before I ever received affection from my father for the very first time. We, as a family, took a trip to Niagara Falls, which is on the border between Canada and the United States. And I was very shy as a child, low self-esteem, and didn't spend much time with my father. I had not much of a relationship with him at all. So I was eager to see what this would bring if I spent some time with him. So I was alone with him. We were looking at Niagara Falls, and suddenly he put his arm over my shoulder, and it felt good. Unfamiliar, but good. And then he said to me in a hushed tone, "I have a secret to tell you, don't tell Mommy." And my self-esteem plummeted once again. He wasn't there to use me to show me affection. He was there to use me as a sounding board for one of his wild investment schemes. And even at the age of 11, I knew the difference between being shown affection and being used as a sounding board. So the last thing I want to say is, as you go through life, I want you to remember there's another consultant he's a consultant on the communication, basically. And God, I can't remember his name now. Bill Shakespeare. He said, this above all, to thine own self be true. Very simple. This above all, to thine own self be true. And as the night follows the day, thou canst not then be false to any man or woman. Thank you very much.